Hello, my name is Kerry and I decided to do my final presentation on an article called Men's and Women's Responses to Two-Sided Health News Coverage by Ching Chang. That's not a joke. And I wanted to compare it to Media in Society's Chapter 6 under the subheading of Constructing Two-Sided Stories. And basically their definitions are pretty much the same when I compared them both to the article in the book. And it's basically two-sided news stories or coverage is basically more balanced because it provides different perspectives. So it normally gives you the benefits and the disadvantages, whereas a one-sided story would only give you either the benefits or the cons of some story. And basically the article was to basically discover the reactions of the audience to one-sided and two-sided stories, and how will they respond to that. Does it make a difference? And so my belief from reading the article and sort of doing my own little bit of research is that two-sided news coverage stories create more ambivalent feelings, particularly more in men, but it does create more ambivalent feelings in men and women. And so I'm going to talk about three things. I'm going to talk about the study and method, the results, and then I'm going to talk about ways I think they could have improved it and answer some questions that you guys had on the discussion board. So the study overall took place in Taiwan. It had 162 students participate from the ages of 19 to 29. And basically what they did was they gave them 6 articles. Some of them were one-sided, some of them were two-sided, some of them were about tofu, and the others were about B6 vitamins. And then once they were able to read those articles at their own pace, they filled out a questionnaire where they rated like 1 to 5 on certain statements. And basically it was to find out their attitudes, so rate their attitudes towards each article that they read. So that was the overall study. And then the results basically showed that when they read the advantages and disadvantages of health issues, it showed more ambivalent mixed feelings, like they weren't too sure how they felt about it, whether they were going to do it. But it was more stronger in men, and they concluded that that was the result because men are more problem solvers and they think more about the negatives, whereas women tend to avoid negatives and focus on the positives, and they don't like conflict. And women are more people persons, and so people orientated, and so they like to avoid that. And so that's how they came up with their results, which I thought was really interesting, because and something that John White mentioned in the discussion board. How he asked me if they did anything possibly that may have pointed in the direction of the results they wanted, and I think they did by basically only choosing students between the ages of 19 and 29. It was supposed to be a study that talks about gender differences, but really it discriminated against middle-aged people, and anybody over the age of 29 basically. And so I think that was one way they could have improved it. They could have got a more variety of ages rather than focusing just on students, because I think that would have skewed the results a little bit. And then I also thought it was interesting as well that they only did written articles. I thought that could have been changed and done a little bit better too, because Media in Society talks about how TV sources and videos are found to be more credible than written articles. And so because women are more people orientated, I think it would have been different if a woman had been watching the articles and someone giving the information to them. I think it would have given them more ambivalent feelings because they're more people orientated and they want to be more agreeable to people. So I think that would have changed the results too. And so that is my overall presentation. Thank you.